This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, March 28, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. Bloomington-based Syngoda Solutions is expanding its international footprint with the opening of its second pharmaceutical storage facility in Switzerland. The contract manufacturing organization says the 100,000 square foot facility in Balerna was built in response to growing demand from its European pharmaceutical clients.
This specific facility, it allows our pharmaceutical clients to store their raw materials and their finished goods so they can deploy those things globally from that location in Balerna, Switzerland, at the drop of a hat as needed in response to market conditions.
That's Anna Benefile, Senior Director of Business Development and Marketing for Syngoda. She said the company plans to add nearly 50 jobs at the Balerna site by the end of this year, and a spokesperson said the facility can ultimately employ about 80 people, including warehouse, office, and driver positions. The company is not disclosing its financial investment in the project. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita has filed a lawsuit accusing General Motors and its subsidiary OnStar of engaging in deceptive practices by collecting and selling Indiana drivers' personal data to third parties, including insurance companies, without their knowledge or consent. The complaint claims GM has marketed its OnStar Smart Driver system as a safety and convenience feature, but instead the system tracked customers' driving data and sold it to third parties. Rokita claims GM harvested detailed driving behavior and location data, such as speed, hard braking, and late-night driving habits, and sold it to data brokers. These brokers then created risk profiles and driving scores, which they then sold to insurers, resulting in higher premiums or canceled policies for unsuspecting Hoosiers. The Indiana Capital Chronicle reported that GM reached a settlement with the Federal Trade Commission earlier this year and halted its Smart Driver program in 2024, unenrolling customers and ending the third-party relationships, according to a January news release. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Purdue University is hoping that its new Startup Accelerator program will help founders establish or rekindle their Indiana connections and perhaps someday expand or relocate their companies here. The Purdue Innovates Accelerator, which launched this week with its first cohort of 5 startups, is a 13-week program for early-stage companies with Purdue connections. Startups that complete the program qualify for $100,000 in investment from the university. The accelerator is the latest in a series of initiatives Purdue has launched over the past several years to encourage entrepreneurship and technology commercialization. Other incentives include programs to help students develop business ideas, student pitch contests, and help for faculty members who want to commercialize their research. The various initiatives operate under what's known as the Purdue Innovates Incubator. To read about the 5 startups taking part in the first run of the program, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Lebanon-based DA Lubricant Company has acquired Crystal Packaging, a contract blending company headquartered in Colorado, the company announced this week. Financial terms of the deal are not disclosed. Crystal Packaging provides toll blending and contract packaging services for a variety of industries, including automotive and aviation. DA Lubricant, which makes a variety of products under the brand names Pengrade and WearGuard, said in a news release that the acquisition will bring 40 Crystal Packaging employees under its umbrella. And an inflation gauge closely watched by the Federal Reserve remained high last month, even before the impact of most tariffs has been felt. America's spending rebounded in February after a steep fall last month and incomes increased. Friday's report from the Commerce Department showed that consumer prices increased 2.5% in February from a year earlier, matching January's annual pace. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core prices rose 2.8% compared with a year ago, higher than January's figure of 2.7%. Inflation remains a top economic concern for most Americans, even as it has fallen sharply from its 2022 peak. Donald Trump rode dissatisfaction with higher prices to the presidency and promised to quickly bring down inflation, but the yearly rate is higher now than in September. Indiana Wesleyan University President John Kulaga is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond, available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.